Welcome back. When I studied with Tad James, he taught me neurolinguistic programming and he also taught Huna. And it was really fascinating because he would teach this left brain approach to therapy, which was NLP, timeline therapy. And then he would teach Huna and he would show you, well, these are actually the same. We're just coming at them from a different angle. And it was really profound. And as he would teach Huna, he used this phrase which he had developed, higher self therapy. So when you were using Ho'oponopono or you were using a chant, a Huna chant, then you were going up and drawing on the higher self to come down and bless you. And that's really what we're doing in Kriya Yoga. It's really what we're doing in any yoga. It's really what we're doing in prayer. It's really what we're doing if we're doing puja or if we're doing a mantra like Gayatri Mantra. And there's a gorgeous idea in here which I want to highlight, which is, look, you're not going to figure it all out yourself. You're not going to solve it all yourself. You're not going to be perfect. It doesn't work that way. We do what we can on this side, and then we go up and we ask for the blessing on the other side, and now we're working at the problem from both sides, and that is extremely powerful. So, let's get into it. So Tad was teaching Huna, he was teaching how to project energy through somebody, project energy through yourself, do a mantra, do a Huna traditional chant, and call on the higher self. And all these things, we were always calling on the higher self to come down and flow through us. And so we always had this idea that there's going to be a blessing, something as simple as the Ha breath. Tad would have us put out our hands like this, and we would breathe in and feel the energy coming down. So you'd come out in the morning, you'd greet the sun, and you'd do the Ha breath, and you would feel the mana coming down on top of you as you do the Ha breath. So you'd breathe in, breathe out. And you do that over and over again. Of course, that is making your out breath long, that is inducing HRV resonance, and you will maybe feel as if this mana is coming down over you. So you're getting into a low idle state and you're encouraging this connection with the higher self, right? Really, really straightforward, beautiful, simple practice. Wonderful way to stand up outside in the sun and practice HRV resonance with a Ha breath. So in all of his practices, we were always calling on the higher self to be in the mix. This is why in Kriya Yoga, we're always starting with a prayer. We start with a prayer in order to connect to the highest of the high. We don't want to just be in the conscious mind. We don't just want to be in the subconscious mind. No, we want that superconscious mind to be present. We want that connection between all of it to take place. And so the prayer is the opening for that. I want to open to that and allow that to flow down. When I went into the ashram, I started reading all of these rules and all of these injunctions and all of these to-dos and all of these requirements and all of these high ideals. And at a certain point, you get quite overwhelmed. It's like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do all of this. And for a very long time, I was attempting to do all of it and trying to be a saint of some kind, right? And of course, that's all very rigid, it's all very left-brained, and that means it's all egoic, doesn't it? all of that rigidity, it's not flowing, it's not working correctly inside of you. I didn't clean out the trash. I'm trying to make sure I don't bump into the trash. We got to have some kind of self-control, of course. We got to have some kind of balance inside of ourselves. But yet this overemphasis on rigidity is going to lead you down the wrong direction because it's left-brained. It's anything which is overly left-brained is going to be egoic. That's just the nature of it. You can't get around that. I like to tell this story. John, one of my most successful yogis, students, really, really profound yogi, really, really deep. He calls me up one day. He says, Forrest, I want to tell you the greatest thing I ever learned from you. And I'm thinking kriya yoga, I'm thinking the right brain, all of these deep understandings. And he goes, flow. I'm like, flow? He's like, flow. It's the biggest thing I learned from you because it helped him to understand you cannot stay in that left brain rigidity. You have to have some kind of flow in order to encounter the deep states and keep them. So I'm in the ashram. I'm trying to be perfect. I remember I'm walking down the stairs in the Pashulan ashram, and all of a sudden I get a blessing, I get a download, and it tells me, look, you're going to loosen up or you're going to have a mental break. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should loosen up. The program of Kriya Yoga with the Om Japa, Lahiri Baba tells us over and over again, you've got to have the Om Japa or the Kriya is tamasic. That means the Kriya will lead to negative results if you're not doing a continuous cleaning out. So I'm going around, I'm cleaning out the house, but I'm not dumping out the dirt. I've got to dump out the dirt. I've got to do the Om Japa and clear everything out as much as I possibly can. I have to do that over and over and over again. And that's why the Kriya Yoga includes the Om Japa and all of the chakras. Okay? That is a cleaning out from our side. I'm going to clean this out on my side as best I can. I am going to get into the low idle state, get the body slow, get into HRV resonance, get into the freeze response, become still and quiet as I possibly can. That's all on my side. And as I reach up with love and care into the higher self, then the higher self will respond. And a blessing will come. And this is why so many spiritual traditions talk about grace. They talk about surrender. They talk about letting go. Because you can't possibly solve all the riddles on your side. It's not supposed to work that way. You're supposed to clear out what you can. And what will often happen is you clear it out as much as you can. You have a roll-up of consciousness. You come up into your upper nervous system. You start experiencing loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, joy. You start experiencing expansion and profound peace. Peace that is not a normal peace. It's just profound peace. You start experiencing all of this in the upper nervous system. Maybe you start going into a state of absorption. Maybe you get a profound download. Maybe the divine speaks to you. All of these things are possible. And that connection with the higher self starts to solve the riddle from the other side. You were never meant to do it all yourself. You were never meant to do it all yourself. The program was always, I'm going to clean it out as much as I can from my side, touch the higher self, and the higher self will begin to help me wipe away the delusion. You can't solve it all yourself. The left brain, the personality, was never meant to solve all of the riddle all by itself. You're not alone in this. You're supposed to connect with the higher self, and the higher self helps you to figure out the riddle of who you truly are. And that's what yoga is all about. I'm finding out the true me, which is the big me, the big I am, right? That's what you're figuring out. So you can't intellectualize that. You can't force it from this side. You cannot be perfect on this side. It doesn't mean you don't try. It doesn't mean I'm going to be lazy and lackadaisical and undisciplined. No, I'm going to have as much diligence as I can on my side. I'm going to do as much cleaning as I can on my side. But moderation in all things, the middle way in all things. I know it's not going to be perfect. I've watched my left brain personality trip and fall a million times. And so I know that's just part of the package. Your left brain is never going to be perfect. It's never going to remember everything. It's never going to understand everything. It's never going to be able to pierce everything. Just forget it. It's not perfect. It's not designed to be perfect. It's fallible in its very nature. Remember, the left brain is only perceiving just pieces of reality. How can you be perfect with just pieces of reality? It's absolutely impossible. So I'm just going to clean it out as much as I can from my side. Go up, connect to the superconscious mind, connect with the higher self, and then the higher self comes down and blesses you. And that's the whole package. So I had this wonderful experience. I've mentioned it before, I think. I had a little conflict with a very good friend, and it bothered me. And so I did a bunch of Om Japa through the lower chakras, through the heart, through the whole thing. I just Om, and I feel, okay, I think I'm clear now. And I just rested in my meditation after doing the Om Japa. I just sat there and rested, and all of a sudden, boom, Divine Mother appears to me, and she appears in a form. I've seen her many, many, many ways. It's always slightly different. There's always a theme, an archetype that she's always giving to me, and yet it's always slightly different. But in this case, it was wildly different. She came to me, and she was just huge, and I knew it was a joke. She was playing with me. This is a form she didn't usually come to me, and she was very, very big, and it was a joke. She was playing with me, and as soon as I saw her, there was this joy and this radiance, and it just lit me up, and I just laughed. And as I laughed, she was showing me that this joy that I was sharing with her was bursting through my heart, and it was blowing what was a cloud on my heart. She was showing me, you thought you were clear, you thought you were done, you thought you did a great job, and you know, it was good, but you left this little cloud, this little thin cloud is on top of your heart. You were not 100% clear, and that joy, that love, that mirth, that divine joke hit that cloud of mist on top of my heart, and it just blew it apart. It was just poof, it was gone. And what a blessing. What a blessing. I'm here for you. I understand you. You did your best. You were not finished. I'm here to help you finish. And it burst right off my heart, and I was 100% clear and gloriously enjoyed, just laughing forever. So I hope that makes some sense, because I really tortured myself for a very, very long time trying to be perfect, and then condemning myself when I was not perfect. And all of that is junk. All of that is garbage, okay? We do our best. We clean ourselves out. We keep learning. It's going to feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to stop learning. Oh my God, there's more. And then I uncover more, and then I uncover more, and then I uncover more. And you're going to reach a point in your practice of the Om Japa, you're going to feel, I think I'm mostly done. There's always going to be a bit more. There's always going to be dust on the table. I always got to go in and wipe the table once a day. There's always going to be dust on the table. That's normal, okay? There's always going to be more to learn. There's always going to be more to uncover inside of yourself. But you're going to reach this point where you reach these states where you feel, I'm mostly okay. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for mostly done. With, like my story, I was mostly done in the heart. I was not finished, and then that's when the blessing came. It came down from the higher self and burst through the cloud that was still hanging on my heart. So I hope you loved this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you.